So here's a video outside of my routine, but it's something I wanted to cover, and that's why I don't discuss politics on this channel anymore. I just want to get this out of the way for anyone who might be wondering or anyone who enjoyed those videos, because I unlisted probably all of my political videos, and I even unlisted a lot of my philosophy videos. And I'm not going to be discussing anything too controversial like that in the future on this channel. I might discuss some philosophy, but even then, I'm going to keep certain things kind of vague. And the first reason is that, well, a lot of my beliefs are controversial, and a lot of what I said in those videos might be controversial too. This is a channel where I have it connected to my real face. It's probably not too hard to get my real name off of this. So I just I want to keep that in mind. Now, with the jobs I apply for in the real world, what people think of as sort of real world jobs, I allude to some of my opinions. I don't like to outright state too much, but I like to at least give people the impression of just how far some of my beliefs are off the norm. So there's at least that understanding there. And usually, if you do that, people aren't going to press too much. And you could even be like, look, do you want to? I don't want to discuss some of these opinions. They're going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to make me uncomfortable. And with that said, on YouTube, I think I probably stated some things outright that I didn't want to state. Whereas I prefer to just imply those things. And then people can do their own research and kind of come up with the rest. And when you have controversial views like mine, that's what you have to do to some extent. There's also, in this first point, my YouTube channel. And this is what's more concerning to me. I do a YouTube channel that tries to handle things from a very informative perspective. It discusses issues that I think a lot of other people discuss these issues, and they tend to interject their own personal feelings into it. I don't like to use the word unbiased when describing my channel because I think everyone has their bias, but I do like to do it in a very matter-of-fact sort of, hey, here's the information on this subject kind of way. I think I provide a value of entertainment that a lot of people don't on the subjects I discuss. And I'm afraid that if that channel gets connected to this one, people might not be able to enjoy those videos in the same way, hearing my beliefs more explicitly stated. I don't think there's anything in my beliefs that would contradict me making a YouTube channel like I do, but I think it could be perceived that way. And I think for a lot of the people who watch my channel, who I can just tell based on what they say do not share my beliefs, it might ruin the enjoyment for them. So that's point one. Point two, I might want to express my beliefs in a different way. One of the things I've been thinking about doing is creating a second anonymous channel where I'll probably use a voice changer. I wouldn't show my face, and I would discuss a lot of the things I believe more explicitly, but it wouldn't be connected to my real identity. It's not something I would advertise here in any way. It wouldn't be connected to the other channel, but it is something I would like to do because I'm passionate about the things I believe. I think there are things that you have to do you really have to teach yourself and study and accept some hard truths to do that. And without mentors, a lot of people aren't going to come across these beliefs. So if I can help expand that in some way, I would like to do that. But frankly, I probably wasn't doing that the best on this small channel, which I don't handle in a professional way at all, where I just sort of occasionally espoused certain beliefs. I don't think I was helping the cause in any way. So while it felt good emotionally and was sort of cathartic, on a wider scale, there wasn't too much of a point to it. So I might be going on to another channel to voice my opinions, doing that more in a more articulate way. I might use some of the strategies I used to build up this other YouTube channel to build that up and hopefully spread the word. But it's not something you're ever going to hear about here. I might give some updates on how it's going, but you're not going to learn what that is based on this channel. And then the third reason is that emotionally, I just don't feel a need to spout my opinions as much as I did before. And this isn't the best reason because, frankly, about a year or a year and a half ago, when I started doing a lot more political videos, things looked very bleak in my opinion, and I still think in the short term things look very bleak, but there's definitely a path to things getting better in the long term. And with that said, I don't I just don't have that feeling that, well, I need to vent. I need the catharsis of letting my opinions get out there. And that's obviously not the best reason, because if things take a turn for the worse, that could very easily go the other way. But it is the truth. If I look at why I was posting a lot of those videos, that was kind of the reason why. If I really wanted to espouse my beliefs, there are better ways I could do that. There are more professional ways I could do it, and there are ways that would reach more people. But I just, looking at how I handled it on this channel and connecting it to my real identity, it just, I don't think it's the best way to do that. I also think that when things do get rougher, and they definitely will in the short term, I think having another channel to voice my opinions anonymously might might sort of scratch that itch in a way that I can just stick to updates and sort of neutral topics on here, and aspects of philosophy that aren't as controversial, that even if they allude to some less popular ideas, won't explicitly state it, and just sort of, aspects of philosophy of, hey, this will help your life, this will help you accomplish your goals, this will help you look at your situation and better yourself. Sort of what I do with my general update videos and some of the other stuff I've posted here. With that said, I'm not going to be posting future political videos here. At least that is not the plan. And since I deleted all of my philosophy-related videos, if you're someone who comes across this channel or you followed it and you're wondering, what do I believe? I would just say, once again, I have a lot of beliefs that you are just simply aren't allowed to say or espouse in the modern context. So it really is difficult for me to direct anyone to anything. I will say there's an author I really like is James Burnham. There's two books he wrote. One called, well, I'm sure he wrote many more books, but two that stand out to me are Machiavellian's Defenders of Freedom, and I can't say the name of the second one because of YouTube. It's The Unaliving of the West. If you listen to those two books, you read about James Burnham a little bit more, I think you can get a reasonably good idea of where my beliefs fall. There's still going to be a lot of questions, but frankly, there's really no better way to explain my beliefs without getting into controversial territory. And right now, I think in the short term, we still live in a sort of dark time where you're really limited in what you can say. In my opinion, the world, the United States, the whole dominant culture has been that way, where essentially truth and true progress, not what's often espoused as progress, but true progress and prosperity has been basically suppressed for nearly a century or so. So people like me just can't really say what we think. But I still will be regularly uploading to this channel as far as update videos, life things, and maybe just helpful little tips I come along during the journey of life that hopefully people watch these videos can enjoy too.